Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Burning Cinema, the show where we fire up the reels of nostalgia and revisit the movies that shaped our past. The question is, do they still hold up, or were we just blinded by the childhood magic? I'm your host, Ross, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Tom. If you've been with us before... Hello, Tom. Sorry. I just totally spoke over you there, didn't I?
It's fine.
That's fine. If you've been with us before, you know the drill. You know the drill. You know how it works. If not, then buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into cinema's memory lane. And that's how it works here at Burning Cinema, isn't it, Tom?
It certainly is.
Last episode, we'd finished, hadn't we, our cycle of X Marks the Plot. So that was all wrapped up. Mixed reviews, wasn't it? Let's be absolutely honest, isn't it?
Mixed is a strong word to use.
Strong. Yeah. We decided, obviously, it is upon us, isn't it? Christmas is here.
The season where we make plenty of excuses to eat unnecessary amounts of food.
Yes, and buy things that we're probably going to sell at a car boot later on. Yeah, the big man himself is about to turn up in about 3 days' time, and we thought we'd do something a little bit different and certainly keep in with the spirit of Christmas. Well, Tom, tell the good listeners, what have we chosen for? Because it's been a mutual agreed film, hasn't it, this one?
It was. I mean, there was certainly plenty to choose from, but we decided to go for what I think can safely be called a classic, and it is 1992's The Muppet Christmas Carol.
It's Charles Dickens' classic tale, as only the Muppets can tell it.
It's good to be heckling again. It's good to be doing anything again.
Filled with holiday warmth.
Hey, like the lamb, not the rat, like the lamb, not the rat.
And Christmas spirit.
Jacob Marley.
The Muppet Christmas Carol. I think probably, I don't know, Tom, I think it's one of your favourites, isn't it? Am I right in thinking?
This is a particularly important film for me growing up.
Ooh.
Big family tradition, so this is an interesting one to talk about, really.
I mean, 1992 I got here written on. That's when it came out, a long time ago. And again, as listeners, as you know, that the age difference between me and Tom is slightly different.
Vast.
There. Well, vast. Whoa! Rude. I would have been a little bit older when I watched this, but I did have a younger brother at the time, so I got to see these films. I did, whether they were on VHS or something.
I'd have to ask my parents, but I don't know if I was even a thought in 1992.
So there you go. So Tom, where would you have picked it up? Where would you have seen this? Because
I would have been very young, but this is sort of, for me, this is a family tradition, this film. So I don't know when it would have started, but every Christmas Eve we will watch this.
Wow.
So this would have been going on for years. I remember watching it on VHS, and now also you get the advancements to DVD, and now obviously Disney Plus. So it's sort of been throughout my whole life, really.
Yeah.
As long as I can remember.
I think if you speak to most people, they all turn around and say, "Oh yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol. Oh yeah, put it on. You know, feel Christmassy, isn't it?" And it certainly does have that kind of Christmassy feel with it. I think, looking at it, I always say this every time I hadn't seen these films for a long time, but I generally had not seen The Muppet Christmas Carol for a while, regardless that every Christmas it comes out. It's either on television and certainly now on streaming. I have no children at home, so there has to be a real big excuse to watch children's films. I don't know if you want to have a look at it. It came out in 1992, and I think it's kind of good to know what the kind of landscape was in 1992.
Absolutely.
It is littered, 1992, with what can only be described as like dull thrillers, really. Basically, serious movies. There's not a lot of happiness that's going on in 1992. We've got films where Clint Eastwood returned as a Western hero. He was in Unforgiven. Tarantino arrived with Reservoir Dogs. Bram Stoker's Dracula with... I was about to say Johnny Depp then. That's not right, is it? Since when has Johnny Depp been in... I mean, Keanu Reeves is in Dracula and Gary Oldman, and whilst it's all very faithful to, you're never going to let that down. And then we had Daniel Day-Lewis in Last of the Mohicans. Al Pacino was blind in Scent of a Woman. Sigourney Weaver reprised a role in Alien 3. So you can see the type of movies we've got are very dark.
Not light-hearted films.
No. And you don't really realise that, having lived through that bit. So there are some exceptions. We got Aladdin from Disney the same year. We also got Wayne's World, if you're a fan of Mike Myers. That was his sort of vehicle, really, what he started on. So this makes kind of Muppet Christmas Carol, by the time we get to it at the end of the year, quite a relief, actually, of a very dark year.
Lightens the mood.
Yeah. So
eventually.
But Disney had an absolute cracking year. The years that followed, rather... 1993, they had like Nightmare Before Christmas, then 94, The Santa Claus, then 95, Toy Story and Pocahontas. So they were on a run, a good run. That's not to mention that within those years as well, we also got The Lion King.
We're talking about some serious top-level films.
I would probably
out of their
say
studios.
some refer to it as the Disney Golden Era or whatever it might be. Yeah, if you were a young kid and you like Disney movies, and even three of those in the next 3 years are all Christmas ones. So I don't know if you know this, it's been released 3 times. Once in 2000, once obviously in 1992, 2017, 2020, and 2022. So that's 4 times it's been released.
Good maths there.
Yeah, that's rubbish, isn't it? 4 times. 4 times it's been released. Jesus. Yeah, so it's been released.
It's like having a conversation with Jimmy Carr's accountant.
It is. But you have to understand that Muppet films, we hadn't seen one. And this is a very tedious link towards our last film that we did, Romance in the Stone. If you remember, I gave you a little breakdown, didn't I? Of
This
1980.
already sounds like it's going to be a stretch.
I mean, this is a stretch of a link, right? It's very tedious. 1984 we were talking about, weren't we? And one of the films that came out in 1994 was Muppets in Manhattan, wasn't it?
Oh, I remember you mentioning that, yes.
You think it's been a long time before we've come back to the Muppets? That's 8 years.
It's a long time.
That's the proper maths, mate. That is.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, shall we do it? Let's go into this. Muppet Christmas Carol. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a nice little play on, obviously, the 1843 novel by Charles Dickens.
Yeah, see, you might complain at me about maths. You don't know what time it is.
100 years out of date. You may have guessed we're not maths teachers.
No.
So there we go. But yes, it is obviously their adaptation of Charles Dickens', renowned, massively famous 1843 novel, Christmas Carol. And it focuses around the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, but this time we're sprinkling in some Muppets and telling it a new way.
You read on paper, if someone said we're doing the Christmas Carol, but we're doing it, Muppets are doing it. And even if it had been any other cartoon franchise or whatever, they probably get away with it a lot nowadays because we kind of expect it.
Yeah.
But back then, it was a little bit like, I'd imagine some people who were very fond of the book would be like, what are you doing to this
Don't
awful...
butcher this.
Yeah, what are you doing to this renowned story? It's almost, unbeatable, lovable story that is written so beautifully, and you're going to lampoon it or completely... But it doesn't.
No, and I mean it's probably the most accurate,
apparently so,
adaptation.
Yeah,
and I think for those who are unfamiliar with the Muppet Gonzo, he plays the role of Charles Dickens, sort of narrating our way through the film. And I think it was something, if I remember correctly, the stats. Here we go, more maths. Was about 95% of his lines were actually just taken from Dickens.
And I've been told that. Yeah, I mean. Even if you didn't know, you would think, yeah, that sounds very much quotable from the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know the opening line is exactly what he says, doesn't he?
It is, yeah.
It is from the book and that. So it opens with a fantastic swooping camera shot over the city. And this is a model, I think, if I remember, and it fades into the live action set piece that we've got, which is clearly built in the studio. Opening the story as the narrator. We've got Rizzo the Rat, haven't we?
Comedy sidekick.
Who I absolutely love. I think he just does such a lovely little sidekick.
It's a shame that you love him because his character's been retired.
Oh.
It was
Oh no! I wondered why we hadn't seen him in anything.
He was retired in 2018 because Steve Whitmire, who voiced him, and he voiced various other characters, was actually sacked in 2017 for making outrageous demands. Apparently, this has been a problem going on since the mid-90s. And so they sacked him in 2017, and therefore they decided to retire the character of Rizzo. So,
that's really sad.
I mean, we might see him again, but he's not going to be speaking.
He's not going to be speaking, or right. Well, I didn't know that. Wow.
There you go.
That answers a lot of my questions then. Of why we didn't see him anymore. Shame. He's a really good character.
He is a really good character.
So straight away, it's a musical. It's not just a Muppet Christmas Carol, is it? We are doing the music. We're doing, full Showtime musical as well to go with it. Humans are with Muppets, aren't they? And it's a universe
normal
where
society.
It's happy that we've got a bunch of vegetables on the side singing away, haven't they? I think one of them says, "I'm being stolen" or something like that, or something.
In a very high-pitched voice.
Yeah. And Oh, do we get we might as well come on to him, mightn't we? We might as well start talking about him, the man himself, innit? Who's going to be playing Scrooge, innit?
Mr. Michael Caine.
Oh, yeah, playing it absolutely straight.
But that was what he said. He said to the directors, "I'm going to play this incredibly seriously because it'd be more fun to do that." What a performance he actually pulls in as Ebenezer Scrooge! It is phenomenal.
Because we kind of got to believe that he's just not a very nice man.
But weirdly, Michael Caine after that said he had a lot of fun doing the film, and it is among his favourite films he's ever performed in.
Wow. I mean, he's obviously, like we said, pole opposite to all the Muppets. The Muppets seem to be having some kind of wild holiday, don't they? That's going on, isn't it? While Scrooge is just so damn miserable, isn't he? And we have this big number as I think he's stomping through the town, isn't he? Or the city of London, isn't he? On his way to work.
With his cane as he's walking along.
We don't actually get to see him, do we? Until right at the end, until he turns round, doesn't he? Is that right? I think.
Yeah, that's when you first get to see who's. It's a little bit of mystery, bit of anticipation build up.
Yeah, we all know the story of Christmas Carol. If you don't, where have you been? You've been living under a rock somewhere, because we know the story. Bob Cratchit wants the day off, doesn't he? And I think Scrooge is going to give it to him, and he very reluctantly.
But it sort of gives you that slight hint that maybe he's got some redeeming qualities in there, because he could have just turned around and said,
"It's in there."
No.
Yeah, because if he'd said no, then we would go, well, there's no redemption, there's no saving this man. He is completely... No. So that's very interesting you say that, actually, because I've never thought of it like that. By him allowing them to have Christmas Day off, it shows you that there's a glimmer, there's a little spark that it's in there, it's deep down inside, which makes the story work so well.
It does.
He gives them the day off, doesn't he, eventually. Again, Michael Caine is just, he's hamming it up, isn't he? Extreme, isn't he? He seems to be having a wonderful time, isn't he? Certainly acting his backside off, isn't he?
He's really going for it.
Yeah. We go back to Scrooge's. We go to Scrooge's house, don't we, after the day is finished.
Yep.
I think we get a little musical number, don't we, with Kermit and the guys. They're cleaning up the place, aren't they? Getting ready to leave. So, and the reason I picked up this little scene is because you just realise how dark and dingy and uninviting everything is. And I think for a children's film, and especially a colourful Muppet film, it's quite dark. And the set pieces relate to that. And I think it would have been so easy to make it a little bit more cartoonish and make it look a bit... I mean, it does if you look at it outside. And it reminded me of, there's a film called Scrooge. Just Scrooge on its own. And again, classic Christmas Carol. Stars Albert Finney. And it's 1970. It is. That's how long ago it is. And I remember watching this when I was a little kid. And it was scary. As a child, Scrooge, in the 1970 version, walks up to the door. And it's so eerie. You would think it was filmed at the time. Because it looks that realistic. And he walks up to the door. And there's a very... Now it would be looked upon as like a bit of a rubbish special effect. There's a very fade in and fade out of the door knocker, and it sort of mutters Scrooge to him like that. And I remember being a kid, and the atmospherics of that being, God, this is scary. This is really eerie. But they seem to have harnessed it. I don't know whether somebody watched that film and went, "This is how you do it." Because it's almost unparalleled. I'd invite you to watch it if you get round to it and go, actually, this looks like this. The whole scene of Scrooge going into the house, the door knocker, putting his broth on, isn't he, or whatever he's doing, putting his little dressing gown and sitting in that horrible room in it with just the fire on.
It's all very dark, it's very gloomy and not Christmassy at all. And like you said, for a Muppet film, a children's film, it's like, this is grim. But it builds up the picture of him, so you really do get the feeling that this man is miserable, and he's just sat there. He's obviously got money. I mean, this is a big house he's living in, a proper London townhouse.
But he's living in one room. He's sitting in one room, right next to the fire.
With one chair right next to it. He's got bread and cheese, and obviously he can clearly afford other stuff.
Yeah,
but he's gone for the pure basics of a lump of bread and a slab of cheese.
Real meagre meal. Yeah,
it is. It really is.
We don't get Jacob Marley. What we do is we get the
Marleys.
The Marleys, plural. So
Sattler and Waldorf, the grumpy old men of the Muppets.
Which again is that how we're going to fit these guys in? Which
I mean, it works though.
It does work, doesn't it? Yeah,
because they're nasty, and obviously the Marleys are meant to be nasty people. And again, I think as a young child, you wouldn't necessarily have understood some of the words they were saying and what they were implying. But I mean, they're talking about evicting an orphanage and laughing about the kids still outside getting cold.
Yeah,
it's really This
not
is
very nice people.
savage.
Yeah, not very nice.
But they're obviously there to give Scrooge's warning, aren't they? That, you need to change your ways, because otherwise you're going to end up like us. And they obviously warn him, as obviously the story goes, that you're going to be visited by some spectres.
Spectres.
Some ghosties
Some
throughout
ghosts.
the night to
yeah.
give him his lessons, really.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to now talk about those
Ooh.
the characters. Obviously, we know who's been cast as who now, but originally, the Ghost of Christmas Past was going to be played by either Scooter or Robin the Frog, but it changed now, so Robin the Frog goes on to play Tiny Tim, and Scooter was just cut entirely.
Yeah, Scooter doesn't make an
doesn't
appearance
turn up.
at all,
No,
does he?
doesn't,
Yeah.
no. The Ghost of Christmas Present was actually going to be Miss Piggy,
Right.
and obviously that didn't happen. She goes on to play Mrs. Cratchit, and then the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, Ghost of Future, whatever you want to call him, and was either going to be Animal, I'm not sure how that would have worked, or Gonzo.
Wow. Oh, so
So
he
big
yeah.
changes there, because I was ended up becoming the narrator. So what they decided in the end was actually we're going to create 3 original characters to portray these ghosts.
Right. Yeah,
And
because they are original characters, aren't they?
they
We've never
are.
seen them before. Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with the Muppet Christmas Carol, the Ghost of Christmas Past is essentially a small child
yes.
floating around. Then the Ghost of Christmas Present is this, large,
Yeah.
big spirit. It's almost like Santa, I suppose, isn't he?
Well, it
But-
fits
but
very much.
ginger.
Yeah, it fits very much into the. Again, I can't reference the book. It's been a while since I've read it. It's the same. Yeah. So you've got the Ghost of Christmas Past tends to be a very angelic kind of, sometimes filmed by like a fairy. I think it's been in versions, hasn't it? And then you've got the Ghost of Christmas Present, which seems to be a very boisterous, jolly man, isn't it? Who's quite a giant, isn't it? Yeah.
The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come is this grim, cloaked figure. I mean, in
The
in
Grim
Muppet
Reaper,
version,
almost,
essentially,
basically,
We never see a face in this version.
And just points and just
Silence.
that's it. Silence, yeah.
Freaky.
Proper horrible. So yeah, so it keeps within that theme, doesn't it? Which I think was a wise choice, because I think if you chose the
Absolutely.
Muppets to be it, we probably, not that this is a Muppet film, taking it seriously, but we probably would have lost our seriousness a little bit, and I think we it would have gone off course a little bit. The Ghost of Christmas Past it's like a weird special effect, isn't it? A combine of special effect.
So I did some research on how they did sort of that scene. It's like I said, it's a bit of the special effect, but it's also they made the puppet, I suppose, and filmed the scenes underwater. So it gave that sort of floating effect, as if she was sort of floating in the air. So
the face is like the face. One minute I look at it and I think, is it CGI or is it like a puppet face? If that makes any sense, puppet face, a Muppet face, whatever it is, or something. I couldn't
The
work
face
it
is
out.
weird.
I'm sure there's some video that would show us how it's done. But the interesting thing though is that the voice that's done, I don't know if you know this, is voiced by a very young child. Her name is Jessica Fox, basically. And after this film, didn't do any other films hardly at all. However, though, she's in Hollyoaks, the British soap TV series on Channel 4, and she's been there for 20 years since.
Crikey.
I mean, so whilst not done any more films or voice work, she's had a good run. And she, 20 years on a soap. Yeah.
That's a very long time.
That's kept her in money and paid the mortgage, hasn't it? Sort of thing. Yeah. Well done her. I kind of like that ghost. I think she's quite creepy.
She's creepy. It's weird because she got the creepy element to her, but it's also got that sort of like that sweet innocence.
Yeah.
Which is what draws in Scrooge in that sense that he's listening. He does take her hand and they go flying through the air. It's that sort of trustingness about her. But again...
Yeah, because if she was too evil and too scary, he would be freaked out, and go, I'm not going. And that leads into, they go to the past, don't they?
They do.
And I quite like that a little bit. I think that's quite cool.
There's
this
really
kind
nice
of
thing
weird
to do.
special effecty thing where they zoom off when they fly. And Gonzo and Rizzo, didn't they? Hitch a ride, didn't they? with a grappling hook or something. Funny.
I always want to know what it grapples onto. It sort of goes around.
Yeah, they're
his
sort of
ankle,
hanging, aren't they?
But...
Good lord. I just thought, oh, this is really cool. This looks really good transition, into the past.
We managed to slot in Sam the Eagle.
Yeah, is he the teacher?
He's the teacher, isn't he? And for those who are unfamiliar with the Muppets, Sam the Eagle is meant to be this American character, very patriotic, and there is that little funny little Muppet hint where they go off script slightly, and he just goes when they're talking about business. He goes, "It is the American way," and Gonzo has to sort of sneak in and whisper in his ear, and he goes, "It is the British way."
Yeah.
And I really like that little bit. It's just a good little bit of fun. You sort of get that little reminder. This is still a Muppets film. A bit more about his past, and obviously we meet his first love, don't we?
Yes, we do. Which is very interesting. I hope you know this, that there's an entire scene missing.
There is. I was going to talk about that.
Go for it.
So, in the original version, his partner Belle has a song. That we go to a different Christmas in the past where they're not married yet. He's still focused on his work, and she essentially feels very rejected by him, and that he's not that interested in her. So she breaks up with him on Christmas Eve. She has a whole song about it, and they decided to cut it because it was deemed too slow and that children would not be very interested in it. And it wasn't the only song they cut.
Ah, right.
Because
I've only known about this one.
there were some other songs, one of which was for Sam the Eagle.
Sam the Eagle had a song.
He had a song.
What was it go? Great to be an American or something.
It wasn't great to be an American. No, he has a song that was cut, but it is actually on the soundtrack.
Right.
And Bunsen and Beaker also have a song that was cut, but is also on the soundtrack. If you want,
would
to
have been
listen
too
to
much probably by then.
There's a lot of songs.
It's interesting, the song that had been cut from it, because apparently there was this kind of classic thing where you get a little bit of internet buzz about, hold on, I've watched a version and I've seen this version, and then I've watched another version and it's been cut. We spoke a little bit about this a couple of podcasts ago. We did about really dodgy versions that that have been heavily cut, and then as censorship and things have changed over the years, all of a sudden you see this random version of your film and you go, I don't remember any of this scene in it because they've restored it fully, or times have changed, whatever it might be. And yes, you're right, aren't you, that they believe that it would have dragged on too long and children would have lost interest.
But I remember watching it when I was obviously a young kid on the VHR version. That song was in there.
Yes.
Get it on DVD, gone. But now Disney Plus have apparently put it on as an extra, so you can see it. Although I went to look at it last year, it wasn't there.
But on a lighter note, I noticed here, I don't know where this, I've got it on my notes, so I'm a little bit out of sync, so I don't know when this happens, but I wanted to bring it up. So Rizzo the Rat has some jelly beans.
Oh,
right.
This happened ages ago.
I know I did. I've looked at it and I've sort of go, I can't remember where this happened in the film, but I've made note of it because I quite like it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And so it says he has some jelly beans and he offers them to Gonzo, and Gonzo sighs as if to say, like, really? Is this what's going on? And out of nowhere, Rizzo just kisses his nose like that, right? And I go, I can't help but feel that was completely ad-libbed. It had to be. I don't believe. Just you look at it, it's almost like they were going to. A Muppet was going to break character, or they were going to go. It makes no sense. It has nothing. It doesn't relate to anything. But I just thought it was so great. I just thought it was that. I just think if that's just been, they go, we'll leave it in.
Yeah,
Brilliant. The randomness of that. I had to get that off my chest.
It's a very, very Muppet thing to do, and I think it sort of reminds you throughout this that despite all the grim sort of backstory we're getting in the darkness,
there is some funny bits in it.
Oh, there is. I mean, the whole. I remember growing up watching this, and one of the bits I think my sister really, really loved was the whole gate fiasco with Rizzo.
Right.
So they're trying to get through to Scrooge property, and Rizzo stood at the top of the gate, having climbed up it like Gonzo to get over it, and doesn't want to jump because he's scared of heights. Jumps, falls. Gonzo doesn't catch him. And then he realises he left his jelly beans on the other side of the fence, and then just walks through it because he can fit through the bars, and doesn't realise he could have done that to begin with.
On that, where they remove this version or remove this one section of the music, I have to kind of agree, and I don't want to fault it, but it's going to be one of my faults that I say that I feel that the music in this film, we haven't got very many uplifting numbers that make us feel. I mean, we will come to it towards the end of this, and we will talk about it. But yeah, by them taking that out, That was a wise choice. That was good.
Yeah. I think also you get the option now to watch it back, and you can have that song in there, which is excellent. It's good because it obviously was a very heartfelt song.
So the ghost. I don't even know what that word is.
He's been on the eggnog really heavily.
Yeah, we could put the alcohol down. Right. Okay.
Have another mince pie.
The ghost of Christmas Present turns up, and he rocks up, and he's all jolly, isn't he? He's a full-on Muppet, isn't he? Really, but I don't know, is he slightly? Did he shrink or something? Something happens, doesn't it?
He starts off as basically filling this massive Victorian room, and he shrinks down to sort of more a human size when they started going off to explore the world. But he's very happy, he's very jolly, and he's there to sort of spread the joy of what Christmas means and to show Scrooge, look at how happy everyone is. Despite all the difficulties of life, we got this one day of the year where everyone can go, let's just have a great time. And that's what he's there to do, to sort of show Scrooge what it could really be about.
Did he have like a massive feast in the house? Didn't there? Was loads of food.
Oh, there's food everywhere.
There's like loads of food in there, like a massive banquet.
Yeah, the sort of place I'd like
Then
to
they
be.
leave it. Brilliant.
I'm going to stay here, thank you.
There's
With-
someone
with
in the
the
background
food.
who did the catering for that. It's gone like, really?
Yeah.
Been up all night
is that
cooking
it?
this. We left. That's it, gone. That's it. You only had one
took
chicken
that-
leg and went.
I took that turkey out of my mother's freezer, and now it's gone. And so basically, they turn up at the Cratchit house, and as they do, Bob Cratchit is walking with his son, Tiny Tim, on his shoulder.
Tiny Tim.
And that is the first time you ever see Kermit the Frog walking.
Oh, right.
That is it.
I mean,
That
because
was
it's
the time.
clearly on sort of like it looks like a treadmill, something like
Yes,
very clever
so
special effect.
They had to do a fair bit of like blue/green screening for this, but they had to get puppeteers to sort of do the legs and everything, and they had this roller, which was essentially
which you can kind of see.
you can clearly see it.
Yeah, but it works.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's just the cobbled street on a roller with bits of snow and that sort of that they just keep turning to make it look like he's walking, and that is it.
I know.
Relatively
You
simple.
don't realise
and
that, do you? Yeah.
You don't realise, but when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, all the times we see a lot of the Muppets, they're always
They're not standing up. They're not walking
standing-
around like.
you get them sat down and that sort of thing, but there's obviously
Just from the way.
off screen, so you don't see the puppeteers. But
It's amazing if you've ever seen background shots and behind the scenes of any puppeteering, even from Star Wars, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, anything was involved with. That's mostly Jim Henson, isn't it? Puppeteering. I always find it amazing that like there's two levels, isn't there? Like there's the underground bit that's below the floor, and you've got all these people walking around in it and moving things. It's just quite fascinating.
that's exactly it. So the sets had to be specially built, obviously for this film, and obviously any other Muppet film. So they have access for the puppeteers, and then sort of planks, walkways, elevated sort of areas that the human cast could walk on. So you have to watch where you're walking, so you don't just drop into the lap of a puppeteer.
You just start walking along in the Bob Cratchit house and then disappear near the Arga. Where's John gone? He
was there a moment ago.
He was the carpenter supposed to be putting his door up, and he's disappeared into the oblivion. We found him at the back of the wardrobe or somewhere. Yeah.
When you think about the effort that you must go through to make all of that is insanity.
It must be a dying art or something, because the effort
is.
gone into that must be phenomenal. The planning, and just one set, just one house. The Bob Cratchit house would have had to been built, raised. The process would have had work,
Certain places where people can and can't stand, because
you can walk
you've got to
into
get
the room,
access
but
for
you've
the
got to stop
puppets.
there. You can't walk any further because you're going to tread on everybody else who's underneath the
Or you're
floor,
just gonna fall
or
through
you're
it.
going to disappear into the floor and take out, Frank Oz, a national treasure. And then we will have nothing. We won't even have Yoda from Star Wars anymore.
No, that is it. Game over.
I mean, by this time, Scrooge as a character in the film, isn't he? He's sort of got on board of this kind of travelling to different times and going to.
This is fine now.
By the time we come to the end of our good, the Ghost of Christmas the Ghost of Christmas Present. By the time he's about to go, isn't he? I mean, he sort of disappears in some sort of little magical sparkle, doesn't he? As he sort of be
he's
better,
aging.
man. Yeah, and
because he goes from being this, this lovely, joyful, long ginger hair, long ginger beard, and it starts to grey, and he ages, and
he's done now, and he's sort of, and he knows that well, we're going to our last ghost, our last spirit who's about to visit us. And by then, I think if you were Scrooge, you would work it out. Go, well, I've been to the past, I've seen the present. I'm putting money on we're going to the future now to see what holds, what ends my life in that. And I think he is already in a graveyard at that point, isn't he? Does he stand
We're
there
getting
at the end?
dark, aren't we?
Yeah, and we get what is the Grim Reaper almost, isn't it? Sort of turn up this hooded figure that only points to things, doesn't he? And we go off to we go to the future, don't
To
we?
show
Yeah.
Scrooge what will happen if he doesn't change. Dingy little hovel sort of place with this weird spider character who's collecting property from his spies, sort of.
I got to be honest with you. I thought we'd ventured into a different Dickens song. I thought, hang on, we ventured into. I thought in a minute he was going to be like Fagin or something like that. You know, we've got to pick a pocket or two.
But you get that vibe from it. That's
It's
sort
like,
of the
hold on,
feeling
there's
you
people
get.
coming in there bringing stuff, and they're sort of trading bits and pieces, and it's sort of revealed that these items, aren't they, are Scrooge's items. Like, why is all his stuff being flogged on the streets and being made money for? Yeah,
It is, but without directly telling him, it's sort of building up the suspense, and then we go to probably the saddest bit of the film. Is he goes back to the Cratchit house, and this is where Scrooge he's elated, isn't he? He's like, oh, I'm back here. Oh, I love it here. This is wonderful. And then
yes, he did.
But it's raining.
He's embracing it, isn't he?
He's embracing. It. He's trying to change himself, but then he's like, it's raining. There's no snow. There's nobody outside. It's really grim, and he gets suspicious. You know, why is it like this? And he looks into the house, and there's tears. Everyone's sad. Bob Cratchit comes home alone, and he's sad and everything. And then he looks over, and you just see, you know, Tiny Tim's chair with his little hat and his crutch propped up against it, and obviously we learn that Tiny Tim is dead. And
Dead, everyone.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Anyway, thanks for listening.
But that's it, and you can see that again. The brilliance of Michael Caine's performance in this film. You can see it break him.
Yeah, I don't know whether that in the we should have read the book, shouldn't we? Really,
Before this,
we're
yeah.
sitting there quoting Christmas Carol, but I don't know whether that's in the book. Is the graveyard scene where he rubs the thing? That would make sense. It probably might be in the book. I don't know what to say there. I'm sure the listeners will go, God damn it, Ross! Why don't you just read the book and understand why? But I didn't have time. We're busy people. Anyway,
Lots going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. He's obviously he's passed away. You say like he's now back in back in bed, isn't he? Rolling around, and he realizes it's all over. It's finished. He's finished, isn't it?
And he asks that little rabbit guy in the street,
Oh,
doesn't he?
it's the old classic.
Gets confirmation that it is still Christmas Day, and he's joyful, isn't he? He's happy. He's realizing that life's actually really quite good, and
He hasn't missed any time. He hasn't lost it.
He's got the time to change things, and he wants to enjoy everything, and he starts going out and gathering people and meeting people, and we see the change in him. He comes out, he's very joyful, wishing Merry Christmas to everyone. He meets Bunsen and Beaker again,
Yes.
gives them some money for charity. We don't know how much, but it's obviously a lot. It gives him the scarf, which is very symbolic of he's dressed all in black because that's all he wears, and they give him this lovely red scarf, and all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
a bit more of a happy Scrooge. He's got his red scarf, and there's an interesting bit in there. So they did a test screening. So Scrooge goes around buying everyone presents, and for his bookkeepers, the little freezing rats, he gets them all a basket of coal. But in the test screening, kids were asking them what the bookkeepers did wrong to get coal, because
That's
traditionally coal is given to people who've been naughty. So the kids were seeing them getting gifts of baskets of coal, and they've
Yeah.
gone, what do they do?
So they think it's like a punishment.
Yeah, not realising that it's actually a gift to stay warm.
I never thought of that.
I never thought
didn't
that.
think
When I
of
read it,
yeah.
I was actually like, oh, that
I mean,
really
it kind of
makes so much
makes
sense.
mentally sense, doesn't it? That you would think that way. What do they do wrong? They obviously not. Are they so bad?
They're getting a lot of coal.
They're getting a lot of coal. Yeah, they are really bad. I mean, they buy. He's buying like anything. He's like he's gathering people together, and that's in all the different versions I've seen. You know, where he's got people, and people are carrying toys, aren't they? Gifts,
Turkey.
a big. I mean, the size of that turkey is about the size of a human being. Look, they're going on a spending spree like the Kardashians in Selfridges, aren't they? Where they're just like going, I'll have it, I'm having that. You ever see that documentary years
Such
ago?
an unnecessary reference.
You've seen that Was it that documentary years ago, Michael Jackson walking around like a shop that they've closed for him, and he's like going, "I'll have that vase, I'll have that book, I'll have that," because just money is no object. That was just Scrooge is just like, "Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have a flat screen TV. We'll have the lot."
I'd like to do that in the Lego store.
Yeah, and so he's having all this stuff. A massive turkey about the size of a table, isn't it? And I don't know about you, but like, you know, you're talking 6 to 7 hours worth of cooking.
Yes.
There you go, Bob. We've got this big old turkey for you there, mate.
Yep.
Here it is. I'll
That'll be the day
pop
cooking.
round. I'll pop round on New Year's Eve after you finish cooking that. Didn't really think that beyond that, but there you go. The thought was the thought that counted, wasn't it? And that's it. Scrooge redeemed himself.
He did.
He becomes good. Tiny Tim's not going to die. Thank God. It was very sad.
That would be a horrible way to end a children's film.
Yeah, that would. And the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future have done their job. And everything. Should we wrap it up there?
I think we should.
Wow. Well, that was an emotional roller coaster. I found.
is.
We went deep at one point there. I mean, whew.
That's one way of putting it.
That was a deep dive. That was a subterranean dive, I think, at one point.
It really was. I mean, it's,
Whew.
there's a lot going on in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many interesting things about it. Some more that we've obviously not discussed is this is the first Muppets film without Jim Henson, the creator.
Yeah.
He sadly passed away in 1990. It's also dedicated to another one of their performers, Richard Hunt, who passed away the same year this came out. It was Brian Henson. It's his directorial debut.
Good Lord, Tom. We're
This is like
everyone's dead.
Everyone is.
Oh, God, Jesus.
but
Happy
this
Christmas, everyone.
But this was just a really significant film. If you look at like the Muppet history, like to move on from Jim Henson, Brian Henson obviously sort of taking the reins.
Yeah.
It was a big moment for them. Obviously, the change of format with a human actor leading the way. It was the first Muppets film to be produced by Disney.
I mean, I remember back in the time. I remember watching Muppets used to be on TV. It was the old 70s reruns, sort of thing, played out in the early 80s. That was my first introduction to Muppets, really, sort of thing. You have to be quite stone cold, don't you, not to like Muppets, really, don't you?
I think so, and this as well is I find this to be it's a proper Christmas film because it gives you that sort of warmer feeling, particularly at the end. You feel Christmassy, and for me, this is, like I said, this is a family tradition. So this is, I mean, I get angry.
Oh.
Because obviously Bob Cratchit has his musical number near the start of the film saying, just one more sleep till Christmas. And then TV channels put this on like the 23rd of December. It's in the script!
Yeah.
One more sleep. Christmas Eve. Play it then. That's the day it's meant to be played. It should. When I come to power, that will be law.
It would be law. The Muppet Christmas Carol should never be played, at least until December the 24th. Yeah.
Anybody who does, well, then use prison, immediate prison.
The musical numbers, generally, I mean, I've already mentioned, didn't I? I said, they're a little bit of a letdown for me, I've got to be honest with you. But it redeems itself with everything else that it hides it, I think. That's the key thing to this, that with it failing, in my eyes, on one thing, which the musical numbers are a little bit hard work, I feel. Yeah. Don't worry, it's going to end in a minute, and we're going to get Rizzo the Rat come back, and Gonzo, and the family, and it all come back, and you're going to kind of forgot that you maybe didn't like that musical number or something, or you didn't like that. It makes itself, and I suppose if it was completely zany and crazy, we'd probably be slightly bored on that way as well. It'd be too much. It'd be like, oh, this is just, I can't get grip.
It's a difficult one, because then if they started having loads of cheerful numbers, it would sort of lose its way in terms of it's not really in fit with what the film's all about. It's that sort of difficult. They must have had some difficult choices to make. Yeah,
this time of year made me feel very Christmassy. It did.
Well, that's exactly what it should do. I mean, there's so many Christmas films we could have gone for.
Well, that was the problem.
All kinds of genres of Christmas film now. It seems to be getting even more broad. I mean, you don't have to look at stuff like Fat Man and Violent Night to realise we're taking Christmas to the extreme now.
Christmas movies they're weird. They're very strange, because I get the sense from, certainly when I was doing my research in this, is that a lot of big companies and production companies, they don't want to gamble on it. It's an expensive time of year. People have got to pay for presents and Christmas. People are busy. People are going places. Have they really got time to sit there in the cinema, traipsing through the cold, to sit in the cinema and watch that? Yes, some people have. Some people enjoy it. But I'll tell you what they will do is they'll sit at home and watch a Christmas film. Probably where streaming probably does better on a Christmas film than, say, a cinema release. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It makes sense. People want to be at home, cozy, warm, with all their food and booze and that sort of thing.
And I think that's where my history with this film is, whilst this is the first time I've watched it in a long time, all the way through from start to finish, it will be on at Christmas in the background.
It will be.
I mean, I could be putting decorations up, and that might be on. I could come home and that might be on TV, and we'll just leave it on while we eat food. It's a very casual film to sort of I could leave this on in the background, and it makes it feel very Christmassy, doesn't it? It's got all the elements to it. What could go wrong?
I mean, there's so many things you could say about what makes a Christmas film. What elements do you need? Because obviously there's debate on some of them, isn't there?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
The most famous one people debate over is something like Die Hard. Is that a Christmas film or not, or is it a film with Christmas in it?
Oh my dear! Is it? I mean, there's films that are set at Christmas, isn't there? You know, does it make it a Christmas film?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Lethal Weapon.
Just because it's got a bit of snow in it and a few decorations in the street, yeah. Doesn't mean it's a Christmas film. I don't really know, really. But The Muppet Christmas Carol, I think, is the quintessential Christmas film because it's set at Christmas. It feels Christmassy. It's about all its morals and everything about it is about Christmas. So why wouldn't that be a proper Christmas film? Is Die Hard a Christmas film? I mean, it's a man shooting people and saving his wife, potentially, from the terrorists. And then we chuck him out of the 50th floor. Merry Christmas, everyone. I mean, he's got some Christmas tape, hasn't it, on the back of his gun.
I mean, now we get some more animated ones.
Yeah.
Remakes, that sort of thing. But we're a bit more accepting of things. Obviously, the introduction of Fat Man and Violent Night, obviously there's been sort of, ruder Christmas films, sort of bad sounds like that made before. But then turning to stuff like Fat Man...
Is that the one with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah.
But then Fat Man and Violent Night were obviously very violent action films.
Yeah.
Based at Christmas. And it's like, we're so much more accepting of that nowadays. If you'd have introduced that in 1992, I'm sure that would have caused some controversy, should we say.
And you are right. Christmas was still the thing that, you don't mess with that. If you make a Christmas film, and probably, I would say, films like Elf, maybe, have tipped the scales slightly,
yes,
haven't they? They've gone, well, no. It's all right to take the mick in it. It's
absolutely.
All right and be silly with this and have a little bit of adult fun with it.
And there's just fun ways. I mean, there's some fun Christmas films out there. Not necessarily great films, but a very Harold and Kumar Christmas, I think, is just a funny random.
What? What? Oh my god!
It's all a Christmas film, but again, it's just absolutely taking the mick of Christmas in general.
I was so built up there what you were about to say, and I didn't know you were going to say that.
Full of surprises, me. Christmas surprises.
So is that that's a sequel or something? That's
the second sequel.
The second.
You got Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies. Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay. Then you've got the Christmas one. Anyway, but then you've also got other stuff like.
Well, hold a minute. You can't just skirt over Guantanamo Bay.
Watch it.
Oh,
it's hilarious.
Oh my god. So yeah, things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, but then you still get your traditional sort of ones with morals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say Harold and Kumar has morals. But
I haven't seen it, but I reckon it probably hasn't.
No.
So with the Muppet Christmas Carol,
yes.
Did you have anything stand out at all for you? Anything that you thought that was just like, oh, this was just awesome?
It's quite clear I love this film. I'm not going to sit back and deny it. But I think the final ending, the song "A Thankful Heart," his redemption, getting everyone together is such a wonderful little
good ending
moment. I think that's going to have to be my peak of what I thought was a really good film.
Rizzo the Rat is my favourite character. He is.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself in him. He's sort of kind of in his own little world throughout the whole film, isn't he? He's along for the journey, but you kind of get that Rizzo and Gonzo are actually really good friends, and it's weird that you get that from, basically, a puppet.
You do. It is,
and that's
weird, but
that is nice. Absolutely credit to the writing and performances, that is. So
massively.
Anything really, I enjoyed all of Rizzo Rat's little cutaway scenes that they do. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was a really good idea, and I like that. So, which moves us on to, and I'm going to throw this in, something a little bit different, Tom.
Oh, hello.
So normally we would do the official flame rating, wouldn't we?
Yes.
But because things are a little bit different, this is a Christmas special.
Would sort of melt the snow.
Yeah, it probably would. And I've decided, we've only got two choices on this. Is it a Christmas cracker or is it a Christmas pudding? That's the question.
You know I hate a Christmas pudding.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm only going by on the word. Some people might like a Christmas pudding, but, a cracker is like, it's cool. You get a gift in a cracker, don't you?
Yeah. And a Christmas pudding has fruit in it. And tell you what am I not interested in at Christmas time?
Yeah.
Fruit.
Great. So I'm going to go straight out there. I'm going to say it's a Christmas cracker. Because
I couldn't agree more.
I think it's great. I think it's good. At some point, I will become a granddad. At one point, I will. And what will I show my kids? Something like this, or my grandkids, wouldn't I? And I would go, look at this. I'm going to put this on. This is great. Even if you don't understand the story, you can follow it. It's visual. It's great.
It's one of those that I think is timeless. Again, looking at Christmas films throughout the year, some of these will sort of come and go. They'll disappear. Look at the Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, for example. Again, it's another version of this story, but that's already sort of fallen by the wayside very, very quickly. This one I don't think will.
That comes to the end of our first ever special, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this time, I probably would say we need to tell where we're going next, because
we certainly do. So, as per our usual format of four episodes to a little plot or theme, we've got a new one.
Yeah. So what we've got is, it's cleverly titled, or
is that because you wrote the title?
Yeah, I mean, I normally write the title, so I will take full credit for that. Yeah. So we're going from sword to script. We are, and what that means is we're looking at movies that they have a swordsman or swordswoman in this, because it will be your choice as we go back to our normal format.
So what I've chosen is a different take.
There's nothing new in this podcast.
No, a different take on the legend of King Arthur.
Ooh.
So we're going to go for King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
I know your story.
Behold, the man who pulled sword from stone.
I'm not getting drawn into this mess. There's an army of you. There's only one of me. I'll talk. I'm happy to talk, but there is no way that I am fighting.
Well, see, now I remember this when this came out, and I think I've seen bits of it, so it would be nice to revisit it and go back to it and watch it in its entirety.
I've not seen it for quite some time now, actually, so
yes.
I'm intrigued to sort of see.
Yeah.
I remember how I felt about it when I first watched it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I'm going to think about it now, a few years later.
I've dipped a toe in it, that's all I would say. I have. So,
a little teaser.
Yeah, a little teaser, yeah. I've had a little look at it, and we'll have a look. So that, listeners, is all we've got time for, I think, at the moment here. So all we will say, certainly from myself, is Happy Christmas, everyone. And I hope you have a great new year. And we will see you in the new year with our new episode. And that's it.
Yeah, and that is it for me. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.